Hi everyone. This video is going to take a look at how to use ChatGPT to turn Word or PDF-based quizzes into functional Canvas quizzes. I'd like to preface this video though with a whole bunch of caveats. First, I know that we here at KCC are a Microsoft school and that Copilot is our recommended go-to AI chatbot. That being said, for the task we're going to look at in this video, I personally feel that Chat far outperforms Copilot. If you guys know Robert disagrees with me and he actually prefers Copilot for this purpose. So that's caveat number one. The second is that this process is going to be much more useful for your longer quizzes and tests. It's probably not going to be worth your time to do this kind of conversion that we're going to learn how to do here for a 5 to 10 question quiz. But if you have, say, a 3 to 4 page long Word document or PDF, this process will be much faster than manually entering these questions into Canvas. My next caveat, and I told you I had quite a few, is that all AI tools have limitations, ranging from data availability for those of us on the free ChatGPT plans, to its inability to correctly process all inputs. This means there are some things you might run into, such as using up a day's worth of free data pretty rapidly if you're doing a bunch of these conversions, or the fact that you really do need to check through what Chat produces to make sure that it's accurate. Lastly, if you've been to any of the presentations by our lovely AI coordinators, you probably know by now that AI tools like ChatGPT are generative. This means that they generate new responses every time you use them. They're also iterative, meaning that you will likely need to work through multiple iterations or versions of your request before Chat produces what you need. This also means that while I can demonstrate the general process for turning a document into a Canvas quiz, what you see when you try it won't be exactly the same as what you see here. Now, if I haven't scared all of you off, let's go ahead and get started. In order to turn a PDF or Word document into a Canvas quiz, first it needs to be converted into what's called a QTI zip file, which is the type of file that Canvas can read and turn into one of its quizzes. We're going to use ChatGPT for this conversion. Once you've located the document that you wish to convert, open up ChatGPT and click on the plus symbol on the left side of the chat box. Select Add Photos and Files from the pop-up menu. Locate your file on your device and add it to Chat. Then begin with the following prompt. Please convert this file to a downloadable Canvas-compatible QTI zip file in order to create a Canvas-compatible quiz. You should also probably add a few extra details based on the type of quiz you are creating. As an example, I also included this quiz should be worth a total of 69 points and be divided into 3 parts. Part 1 consists of 20 multiple choice questions, and each question is worth 1 point. Part 2 consists of 10 fill-in-the-blank questions with 2 blanks each. Each blank is worth 2 points. Part 3 consists of 3 free writing or Canvas essay questions, each worth 3 points. Now the fun begins. I say this because sometimes Chat will immediately create what I need. Other times it will ask questions, and other times it will make a QTI file that turns out will need a little bit more editing in Chat before it's truly usable in Canvas. So let's take a look at the result Chat gave me. First, it confirmed what I asked for in terms of quiz content and structure. It explained what it was going to build, and then it began generating the quiz file. The larger the file, the longer the process will take. However, AI works pretty fast. After I'd been waiting a couple of minutes, I had a feeling it might have hit a snag, so I checked in and asked if it was still generating. This prompted Chat to ask me a confirmation question about part 2 of my quiz. A few seconds later, and I had a downloadable QTI zip file. Once Chat has generated your file, click on the link and the file will be downloaded to your device. Now we need to add it to Canvas and see if it works. Open the course you wish to add the quiz to, or you can do this in a sandbox if you prefer, and click on the Import Existing Content link on the right side of the screen. Under the Select Content Type drop-down menu, choose QTI zip file. Then click on Choose File and select the file that you just downloaded from ChatGPT. Click on the plus Add to Import Queue button. Once the process has finished, you can usually tell right away if there are any problems. You can see here how it says the import was partially completed with 13 issues. Let's take a look a little bit closer and see what those issues are. First, navigate to Quizzes and locate the quiz you just created. Already I can see a problem. I requested that my quiz be worth 69 points, and this one is worth 33 points. Let's look at it and see if this is something that can be fixed easily in Canvas, or if it would be faster to regenerate the QTI file. Okay, the first 20 questions, which were multiple choice questions, are set up perfectly. ChatGPT is great at turning multiple choice questions into a Canvas quiz, but it sometimes requires multiple iterations for other formats. As you can see here, the fill-in-the-blank and free writing or essay answer questions have received errors. Now, at this point, you can choose either to edit the quiz in Canvas as you would with any quiz, or you can return to ChatGPT and regenerate the file. If you choose to regenerate the file, before you return to Chat, let's open up the quiz in Canvas and open up the editor. This way you can clarify to Chat what it got wrong. I can see that both the fill-in-the-blank questions and the essay questions were set as multiple choice in Canvas. Return to ChatGPT and return to the specific chat thread where you created the initial QTI file. Describe the problem with your QTI file to Chat. In my circumstance, this was the description I used. There's a problem with the QTI file. Canvas interpreted the initial file as needing all questions to be multiple choice. Part 1 is correctly multiple choice. However, Part 2 needs to be read by Canvas as fill in multiple blanks questions, and Part 3 needs to be read as essay questions. Please regenerate a downloadable QTI zip file with these changes. Once Chat creates a new QTI zip file, click on the download link to download it. Follow the same steps as before to add it to Canvas. The first thing I can see is that this time it's labeled as complete and not labeled as having any issues, unlike the previous version. Navigating to Quizzes, I can see that this quiz is indeed worth 69 points. A quick scroll through the quiz shows that everything in it is set up perfectly, exactly as I wanted it. Now, the only things I need to edit are the quiz settings, including things such as what assignment group to add this quiz to, whether or not to shuffle answers for multiple choice questions, which I personally always do, due date, and so on. Then, when you're ready, save and publish as normal. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions about using ChatGPT to turn a Word document or PDF into a functional Canvas quiz, please reach out to the CTL at ctlsupport@klamathcc.edu, by phone at 541-880-2374, or just stop by Building 3, Room 350, and we'd be happy to help you out.